Yo, my people, before we even get to the intro episode, before we even get started, I don't know how long this episode gonna be, but just bear with me. I'm feeling good about this one. This is a before we even get to it, this is a knowledgeable, you know, for the men, but for the women too, just in case you wanna, you got a son and you might find something in here that you never heard about, or never heard about, or because you can only raise you can only raise a boy into a young man, not a full fledged man, things of that nature. But let me get right to the episode. Yo, my people, ladies, gentlemen, old heads, young bucks, how y'all feeling? Welcome back to the experience, the Nas Ford experience. I ain't gonna lie, I might come up with a name for the pod. I might come up with a name for the pod. We gon' we gon' That's a different episode, different day thing. But today, it's currently 11 o'clock on a Saturday. I mean 11 a.m. on a Saturday. Um, and I was reading. I woke up fresh off the wake up. I just started reading. I'm reading this book called The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is not not everybody got this book, but that's why I'm kind of here to spread a little bit. So as soon as you kind of open a book, like first scene, I mean not first scene, but like first main page, once you get past the condex and table of content, all that stuff. Yeah, the first sentence, the first line that opened up the book is, "Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time would come when it would end." Now, when I first seen this book, I was talking with pops, and he was explaining to me, that that read going out through reading of this book, it's a lot of moments, there's a lot of words and phrases in here that make you think on what that mean, and how did that, attend to your life and things, and because all of it do go to your life somehow. So we're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna talk to y'all about, just about, what I'm learning about being, being a man, because I'm just now embarking on my journey of becoming a man. All before then I was little boy, a boy, shit, young man, teen, all that. I was everything above. I wasn't a man. I ain't get man status till I'm finna get it now. But so that first line I said, "Time never was when man was not." I'm gonna give it a little minute to sink in. Like, let me say it again. This time, just think about it and let it sink. Time never was when man was not. Now, when you think about that, what do that mean to you? I forgot what Pops told me it means to him, and I told him I was gonna let him know when I figure out what it means to me. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been stumped on it. It's not one of them. I ain't gonna lie, it's not one of them. You solve immediately. It's one of them. Think of it, let it replay in your mind, and then it's gonna come to you when you in the need of that answer. That's how it happened for me. This morning I was up here. This morning I woke up and I immediately turned to the right. I turned to my right side on my body when I woke up, and I grabbed my phone and I checked the phone, checked all the apps and all this stuff, see if I'm getting no messages, because I turned all my notifications off on the socials. So then I got on TikTok and got to scrolling on TikTok, and I started getting a couple, spiritual messages when they ain't had no hashtags and shit. So it was like it was really meant for me type shit. It popped up on my For You page type shit. So I was listening to them, and they was just telling me like, you know, um, I really forgot what they were saying to where I can't recite it, but they were saying something important, and I felt it, and it was just like I was just scrolling, and it was just like something clicked in me, like, you're not finna waste your time. You're not finna waste your time scrolling on TikTok, fresh off the wake up, like you ain't even did nothing yet, you know. So I was like, okay. I decided to pick up the Holy Quran, and I opened it. And when I opened it and I read that time never was when man was not, it finally clicked to me, right? what I think what I think this quote mean, time never was when man was not, is the simple meaning is our time on earth didn't start until the first man was created, you know? And that's why I said this episode is for the men and maybe not more so for the women, because I could only speak on, you know, the men's side of things, so I'm not saying that women was not made to be on earth or they not a pivotal part in earth and nothing like that. I can't speak from, how to be a woman and what women should do and how they should treat men and all that shit. That's some women, that's a different side of the book. Y'all gotta find. Um, but yeah, so I got the meaning. The simple meaning I got is our time on earth didn't start until the first man was created, right? But when I say it again and I repeat it, and I could get like, and I figure out what it means to me, time never was when man was not. I get that. When I hear that, I think, okay, so time is our most valuable commodity, right? Like, meaning like anything you do in this world, it has to do something with your time. Your time is the most valuable thing. You could say money, but what do you have to do to make the money? You have to spend time. Right. So it's time. Okay, but if time is is our most valuable commodity, my deeper meaning is time is our most valuable commodity. But if us men don't use our time on earth to fulfill what it means to be a man, then our time on earth could be very limited, and we could get removed off of earth just like we got created. The same way, if we don't feel if they feel like if we just feel like our purpose of being a man is not being fulfilled. Now we all do have I feel like we all do, in the same gender, all us men have the same purpose. But how we get it done and the effects and all that stuff is what changes. So we all grow up. I think we all grow up to have the same purpose, the same to have the same missions and the same things to accomplish. Some get them done, some don't. And I think that's what the whole point of life is. We all got the same goal, for real, for real. We all got the same mission at the end, which is maintain a family, be wealthy. And I'm not saying rich, because rich is just having money. Wealthy is, you know, you got money, but you got a couple businesses to where you regenerate that same, that same income, that same money that you got rich, you keeping that, um, maintain family, keep, maintain wealth, and just to live a positive life of no, no worries and no regrets. I think that's really what our main thing is. But growing up, we all go through different circumstances and situations that mold us into our own person in a way. And yeah, so I broke it down. I broke down what I feel like I broke down what I feel like us as men, what I feel like our purpose on the world is. And I broke them down into 3 P's: protect, provide, and preach. Protect meaning keep safe from harm or injury, and now, reading the Bible, I don't forgot which one it was. I can't quote it, but I do remember that God said something like, I'm not gonna read it like how he said it, but he said something about basically protect your family with all your flesh and blood, something like that, right? Which I understand, like you gotta. That's what the man is for, to protect. That's what I'm saying. That's one of our main, main things. To protect our family with everything, with everything we got, and maintain everything you worked for. I feel like those are, as a man, those are only two purposes of protecting. When they say protect, I think we're supposed to maintain everything we worked for and make sure we protect our family with our own lives if it results in our own death, which I kind of find crazy, but I still got some growing up to do. So maybe it's some shit I don't understand yet, but I don't know. Right now, I just don't see the value in that. I feel I value my life too much. But I think that's it. I think I just got some growing up to do, so don't mind me. Um, Provide meaning to supply. We all know what provide means, so it's simple to supply, to give, when needed. Um, and our purposes of providing is, make sure the family is well taken care of. But you do have to understand, like, you know, and I don't want to use like some of this to, go at women and like that. But quick, simple note for the women: when you have, kids with somebody, or you have a family, but y'all not really family, like y'all co-parents, and you're a single parent, but the other parent is around. You got to understand, like, for men, a man don't feel like he's truly a man until he's financially, stable, where he can move comfortably and be able to, provide and protect the right way, type of thing. So you can't, like, so you being you as a mother should understand, like, he might not be there all the time. You might ask for 500, something like that, or, and it just ain't there. You know, you got to understand, like, sometimes it ain't there, sometimes it is, and that's just how life is. Now, I'm not speaking for the people who you ask for it if it's there and they say no, and then they pop up and they fresh, no, 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 shit like that. I mean, like, people who, the fathers and stuff that's working, and that if it's there, they'll give it to you. But when they say it's not there, don't throw attitude. Don't call them. Don't go after. Don't get to naming names and, throwing all names around and stuff like that. I feel like that's that. And another thing that we need to do, as that we need to provide as men, is, I think we need to be available, not only for our wives and nothing like that, but for our family in general. We need to be available mentally, physically, and emotionally. I remember Pops told me one time when I was a little kid, before I had little bro, and it was just us three. It was just the big three, um, me and my two little sisters. He told me, said something like, "Real men don't cry," or something like that. And this was on the way to my granny funeral, or to my great grandma funeral, his granny funeral. And it's like, I was like 10, 11 at the time, which ain't it ain't make it made sense, but it ain't make sense because I was still staying with my mama. And on the other end, they was telling me, I had everybody telling me, like, it's okay for men to be emotional, which in our reality it is. Telling, like, men, bro, growing up, bro, don't tell, like, when you have children and shit, don't tell your kids it's not, don't tell your kids it's not, men don't cry, nothing like that. Don't tell them nothing slow like that. You should want them to be. Now, I would advise, tell them niggas don't cry in front of everybody. Don't just be crying just to be crying and shit. But if life gets to a point to where you have to let tears down, or you feel like it's just, overwhelming, let it out. Make sure you by yourself, or you with somebody you trust. Don't let it be your wife or anything. Well, it can be your wife, because at that point y'all damn near one. But don't let it be a girlfriend, or, one of the new bros you just met, or nothing like that. Like, don't let nobody use it against you, because niggas will be quick to use that against you. But it's the best way to get it out. I would say, don't tell young boys and all that stuff. Men don't cry, because holding all that stuff in is what create a lot of problem, with a lot of anger in the world today. Shit like that. Like, that's how a lot of niggas started getting bullied in school, because they was holding on to shit, you know, that they was going through at the crib, when all you really needed was a simple cry on the walk to the school, get the tears off, boom, boom, and you straight. And ain't nobody got to be hurt because you hurt, or shit like that. But that was besides the point. I took that a whole different route. That's crazy. And then last but not least, preach. Preach meaning publicly proclaim or teach. Um, you know, and when I say preach, I mean, like, not preach as in tell somebody what to do, but preach as in, like, lead. You know, I think us as men, we, in this generation of 2024, I don't know like why men and women is going at each other like this, or why the world is going like this. But I feel like as a man, it's our job to lead, which we know that. I think we know that off rip. That's something our parents teach us early, or at least my mama taught me early, was that I was born here to be a leader, not only because I was a young boy, I was born a man and but it was just like oldest out of all my siblings. I'm going through everything first, other people looking up to me, and I was just the bright spot for my family at the time. Like I was just the beginning of a new era type of thing. If I got the shirt, I was the little baby being held up on one of y'all family reunion shirts. But it wasn't probably wasn't y'all on y'all on family reunion shirts, but on my family reunion shirt, I remember vividly. It was a red and yellow one. Um, I was the baby that was being held up in the sky on some Simba shit, which is cold. But yeah, when I say preach, I mean spread wisdom and knowledge, And another thing I'm learning is like to be receptive, to pay attention to detail and think. Well, I've been new to pay attention to detail, but I mean when it comes to people and how they perceive things and their language and things of that nature, like to some people, the way I'm talking, the way I'm giving out information and things of that nature, somebody listening to this won't be able to really receive what I'm saying or what I'm putting down because of how I'm saying it, And that's what I mean, like learn how to be receptive and things of that nature. Like you have to understand how to communicate with different types of people, communicate in different types of ways, depending on the person you're communicating with, you know? And then lead with your brain and not your heart. And that's another reason why I feel like we was given the ability to, we was given the mission of leading, the other gender and the rest of the world, because women, and this is nothing bad, but women are initially emotional creatures over rather than logical creatures, when men on the other hand are typically logical creatures who have to tap in more into their emotional side, so like if like just real quick, if y'all grew up with y'all mama, once OG get mad about something, little something, the whole, energy in the whole house change, and they just dictate everything, like, and that's because they just mad, they emotions is running high, so whatever they tell you why why they emotional and all this stuff, they won't mean, that's why they come back and apologize when they, when you might get a whooping. You might get a whooping for not having a pencil or some shit, or you might get a whooping for fighting or some shit in school or something. And then like after you get the whooping, like an hour or 2 hours later, they come back apologizing because the emotions is not high, and they realize they could have handled the situation better. Me personally, I'm not gonna whoop my kids because I don't. I've got whooped as a kid, and it didn't serve me no purpose or value besides to be scared of my parents a little bit, which made me the little bit of slick that I am. So yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna do that. Uh, but yeah, that's really it. I don't know how it would turn out. We got a good 20-minute episode. Yeah, that was really it, bro. And okay, so now because I'm not gonna make a full episode just for this little shit. I'm gonna just talk. We can talk about it now. I don't know. I might just keep everything in the Nas Ford experience. Never really know. But the only thing that might change is the name of the pod. It's all under the Nas Ford experience still, but the name of the pod might be, I don't know. I might do the Mind of a God podcast, bro. Or I might just keep it the same because the way that the way that I could want to switch between shit every other day is just insane. So yeah, we gonna stick to it. But that was really it. I'm finna get back to reading and writing, and hopefully I have I will have, I'm working on a couple more audios. I will have more audios coming out um sooner rather than later. But I Love y'all. Be smooth, prosper. Just become your best self today. Do better than you did yesterday. Remember, we're not in competition with nobody else. And as cliche as that is, we only in competition with ourselves. It's true, you know. But hey, other than that, it's your boy Ian today to the Z. I'm finna sign out. Take my suit off for another day. Take my cape off. All that good shit. And yeah, get up with y'all later. Love y'all. Peace. I'm wishing y'all the best.